Hello, welcome to Adventure Freaks. Today we have a great podcast for you. I'm interviewing Laura Fusté, who's an immigration lawyer out of Barcelona, Spain. She works with Lexity Law Boutique. She's the head of immigration of Europe. And today we're going to focus on visa requirements. There's three different visas we're going to look at. We're going to look at the non-lucrative visa, which is also the retirement visa, the digital nomad visa, and the golden visa. So if you like this content, please subscribe to our channel. That helps support us, and like the video as well. Thank you. Okay, so today we have a special guest. My new friend Laura Fusté is a lawyer, and she lives in Barcelona, Spain, and she is a specialist on visa requirements and immigration to Spain. So we're going to talk about taxes, immigrating to Spain, and what are the visa options available to anybody who wants to retire or live in this amazing country. So Laura, thanks for doing the podcast.
No, thank you, Ray, to you to invite me here. So it's a pleasure to be here and be able to discuss the options for these retirees that want to relocate to Spain.
Yeah, let's introduce your company, because you guys specifically focus on helping expats move around the globe. Today we're going to focus on Spain, but tell us a little bit about the name of your company, where people can find you guys, and what you focus on.
Sure. We're Lexity Law Boutique, and we've been working in helping people relocating to Spain for quite long. Here we've been working here for 8 years, and we are covering different jurisdictions, not only Spain. We also cover France, Portugal, Greece, Italy, and now also Mexico. And yeah, we're all our aim is to help our clients to relocate to those countries, and also to satisfy their needs of investing in those countries or establishing their businesses, or only to retiring in those countries with their families and starting their new lives here.
That's fantastic. It's such a great niche. And all right, well, awesome. So many people that are thinking about retiring or living in Spain, they gotta obtain a visa to do that. What are their options? Is there a retirement visa? Let's start with that. And is there a minimum income requirement to obtain that visa and move to Spain?
So yeah, for sure. You're talking about the non-lucrative residence permit. I'm sure that a lot of our audience has listened about it. And in order to be able to apply for this residence permit, the main applicant needs to show a total fee of 28,800 euros for 1 year.
Okay.
And it is super important to show that the applicant is not going to, it has no intention to work while residing in Spain, even if it's remotely for a foreign company, because for that we already have the Digital Nomad Visa. So they would need to apply for another kind of residence permit. Okay. And because the non-lucrative residence permit is precisely thought for those retirees that just plan to reside in Spain and not carrying out any economic activity that makes them being registered with the Spanish Social Security. In case they are accompanied by family members, for each one of those accompanying family members, they would need to accredit an additional amount of it would be 600 euros per month per family member, or 7,200 euros per year.
Okay. For each dependent.
For each dependent, exactly.
Each dependent, yeah, okay. So the non-lucrative resident permit is considered the retirement visa. It's specifically for retirees, and they cannot work over there at all under this particular permit, correct?
Correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So, all right, so that's great. And okay, so do they, on their pension, would they be taxed in Spain? And if so, how much on that pension?
So the under pension, the tax would be understood like if they were receiving a salary.
Okay.
It's like the general rules, the general tax rule. So it's
Okay.
the same. It's the same type as they were. That if it was a salary, we're talking from. For US citizens, we know that there's a bilateral agreement between Spain and the US, and they wouldn't be double taxed. Okay, so the percentage of the taxation is between the 19 and the 50 of percentage. This is the general taxation of the salaries and would be applied as well to the pensions.
Okay. So let me make sure that I'm clear on this. So I heard you mention that there is a dual taxation treaty between
Between US
Spain,
and Spain, exactly.
between, yep, US and Spain.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you cannot double tax.
Exactly. They
So,
cannot be double taxed.
so if they are paying taxes on their pension in the US, they will not be taxed in Spain.
Or they would be taxed if they will be taxed in Spain, but they will have to be to do the balance between what they pay in the US and what they should pay in Spain. If they still need to pay, they will have to pay.
I
But they
see.
would deduce what they have already paid in the US.
So when you get a good CPA to figure out, one will cancel out the other.
Exactly.
I see. So
Exactly.
once you file your taxes, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
If
But in any case, the tax experts here in Lake City would gladly assist anyone who needs more specific information in this regard.
Okay, great. That's good to know that you guys have a tax
Mm-hmm.
service as well over there.
Yeah, exactly. We have
Awesome.
in Lake City, we have different departments. So aside from the immigration department, and of course, because of course any relocation implies a tax implication, no? So of course, it's our clients need tax assessment as well, and here in Lexi we have our tax experts that always assist our clients with their taxes here in Spain.
Okay. For this non-lucrative resident permit for retirees, is there a certain age that a retiree has to be to obtain this?
No,
Okay.
there's no age.
No age limit. Okay.
That's not a requirement. They only need to agree that they are retirees and that they are not going to work while
They're
being
not
in
going to
Spain,
work.
and that they are not receiving a work salary. No?
Okay. All right, cool. Okay. So for the people that aren't thinking of retiring, that are still looking to make an income when they move to Spain or do something online, maybe they're a digital nomad, what are their visa options?
If they are still working remotely, they would have the chance to apply for a digital nomad visa, but of course they would need to comply with the requirements of the digital nomad visa. If you prefer, we can first finish with the requirements of the non-lucrative residence visa, because
Okay.
residence permit, sorry, because aside from the economic means requirement, they would need to agree the main requirement is that they have the sufficient economic means and that they are covered by health insurance in Spain.
Okay.
Okay. A health insurance that is operated by an agency authorized to operate in Spain. And then the general requirements that they would need to meet are that they don't have criminal recourse in the countries where they lived during the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They would need to submit a medical certificate accrediting that they do not have any disease that prevents them from entering to Spain. And then they would need to submit the required forms in order to enter Spain, and that's all. And the application is submitted at the consulate, and then the consulate of their place of residence. So it's the application is not presented in Spain; it's presented outside of Spain. And then if the application is approved, then they can enter Spain. And the residence permit is initially issued for 1 year and renewable for 2 years.
Okay.
And then the other option would be that one, which in case they plan to work remotely from Spain, the option would be the Digital Nomad Visa. But for this, they need to comply with the activity. The work that they are performing needs to have some requirements. They cannot work in any kind of activity. No, the activity they do, it's needs to be able to be carried out remotely, and they need to present a work contract. Like they need to accredit that they have been employed or that they have had a client if they work as a freelancer for at least 3 months.
Okay.
And that this client or that their foreign employer have had a real activity for at least 1 year.
Okay.
And that they receive the minimum amount as salary to maintain themselves in Spain. And this salary is now has increased in January because the minimum wage has increased this 2024, and the amount now is 2,650 per month for the main applicant.
And that's
And I think
euros, right?
that's euros, exactly.
Yeah, 2650 euros. Okay, per month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
funny.
if any digital nomads make less than that, they wouldn't be able to live in Spain.
No, and they are super strict with the salary of the digital nomads.
How about
Because
like
well, if they, in some cases, we have had some cases that presenting, like they study each case separately. We have had some cases that presenting savings aside from the salary, that they have approved that, but we don't recommend trying this way, because then the initial application, then the initial residence permit regarding the digital nomad visa is issued for 3 years. And in case you do not, like, in case you cannot agree that every month during these 3 years you will be receiving this amount of money, it's very difficult to, it rarely possible to get an approval, because if you can have savings, but it's very difficult to prove that you will have these savings during the following 3 years.
how does the tourist visa work? How many months can you stay on a tourist visa?
90 days out of every 180 days.
So, and then do you have to leave the country, and can you come back the following day, like a lot of people do a visa run and they shoot over to Portugal?
No, actually, no, because the rule is that you can be in the country, in the Schengen area, 90 days out of every 180 days. So if you are in Spain 90 days, you have to be 90 days outside the Schengen area to be able to come back.
I see. Okay. So, okay, I got it. All right. So if a digital nomad wanted to just stay the summer and work in southern Spain, they could just do a tourist visa, stay for 3 months, live the summer there, and then
Yeah,
go.
this is a tricky question, because it's not 100% regulated, because actually, in order to work, even if it's with your laptop, I shouldn't be answering this question, because if you are working in Spain, even if it's with your laptop, you should have a work permit, you know?
I see. Okay.
So if you're coming as a tourist, you're coming as a tourist, and you should not be working. So that's the thing.
I see. Gotcha. Okay. Thanks for clarity on that. Okay. So you mentioned, let's just touch a little bit and go back on the health insurance. So everybody that that obtains one of these visas or permits, they need to show that they have health insurance. Is it a health insurance through Spain, or is it a health insurance through their country, their own home country?
So the health insurance, initially, not everyone needs a health insurance
Okay.
or to show that they have a health insurance. The non-lucrative residence permit holders, yes, because it's
Yes.
the only way they will need a private health insurance. So
Okay.
that they are covered, yeah, they will need to accredit that. The non-lucrative residence permit holders, they will need to accredit it with a private health insurance, okay? Because it's the only way they will be able to do it. The digital nomad residence permit, visa holders, in case they are freelancers, they won't need a private health insurance, because at the end they will need to register as a freelancer with the social security in Spain as freelancers. So in that case, they will already be covered by public health insurance. So they won't need if they want, they can hire a private health
I
insurance,
see.
but they won't need a private health insurance. But the employees, the digital nomad employees, they will need a private health insurance, because most of them will need to obtain this certificate of coverage of the social security of the country of origin where they come from, where they were working. But this certificate of coverage, or this coverage, will only cover the work part of the social security, but then they will need the private health insurance for the other part of the social security, for the part that is not covered here
Okay.
in Spain.
Okay.
And this private health insurance has to be hired in Spain. There is an organism that indicates the insurances that are authorized in Spain, and the administration only accepts these agencies that are authorized in Spain. If the agency is not in this list, the insurance will not be accepted.
Okay. Laura, do you have any idea what the cost is on some of these insurance plans?
Yeah, normally it's between 50 euros or 100 per month.
Per month?
It's cheaper than in the US.
Well,
Totally.
that's a lot cheaper. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right, cool. Do you want to touch on the golden visa, or
Yeah, I was
what else do we want to talk about? Do you want to cover?
Well, I was going to mention the option of the golden visa for the retirees,
Okay. Okay.
because it's another option for them. Of course, the
Okay.
non-lucrative is more simple, or the requirements of the golden of the non-lucrative residence permit, sorry, are more achievable. But the golden visa is a faster procedure, and for those who can afford that, maybe it's more interesting,
Yes.
because the golden visa investment, it's a residence permit that can be applied for in case, well, the minimum amount to invest would be this 500,000 euros in real estate. So those who can invest that amount of money can get this residence permit, and can be and for US citizens, for example, that don't need a visa to come as tourists in Spain, they can apply for this residence permit while being as tourists in Spain. And the application can be presented online, and the administration has 20 working days to resolve the application. And it's true that they will need to present the criminal record certificate also, like the non-lucrative residence permit. they won't need to present the medical certificate, which they need to present in the non-lucrative residence permit. But the difference is this, that they can present the application while already being in Spain, and that the application will be resolved in 20 working days, while the non-lucrative residence permit application needs to be presented at the consulate of their country of residence, and the resolution will be issued. Well, the consulate has 3 months to resolve the application, and they won't be able to come to Spain until the application is resolved. And the golden visa is issued initially for 3 months, and the non-lucrative for 1 year. And the golden visa is renewable for 5 years, and the non-lucrative for 2 years. So the golden visa is like a privileged residence permit, and everything it's more beneficial than the non-lucrative, but it's true that you have to do an initial investment of 500,000 euros.
So that 500,000 euro investment, does that mean you have to find a property that's worth 500,000, or
you can find more than one property?
Okay, but do you have to spend a total of 500,000 euros, or do you just, like, there's certain countries that say you need to invest in say $500,000, but you could find a property, for example, that is appraised or worth, they'll say it's worth 500,000, but you actually buy it for 400,000. Would you still qualify?
No, you have to. The
Spend.
investment you do, it's of 500,000 euros. What
Okay.
would count also for the golden visa is if you invest, if between the investment you do with the terrain, well, with the if the property is still not if the construction is not made, and you invest on the soul and the construction, and between both you achieve the 500,000 euros, that would count also for the golden visa.
I see. Okay. All right. Great information. So Laura, for the viewers that want to reach out to you, how can they find Lexity Boutique? How do they find you guys, and how can they reach out to you specifically with any questions in regards to Spain?
Yeah, of course. They can find us in our website, which is www.lexidy.com, and there they can contact us through a form that they will find, and we will receive their inquiry, and our lawyers and our experts will contact them as soon as possible.
Okay. And if they request you, they just say, I want to speak to Laura Fusté, and then you'll.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Okay. Well,
Of
Laura,
course.
thank you so much for taking the time
Yeah,
to share this
of
information.
course.
This has been
It's been a
fantastic.
pleasure.
And let's
It's been
do
a
another one.
pleasure.
We'll do the next one will be on Italy or Portugal.
Yeah, sure. And our lawyers there, our colleagues there will be glad to have this time with you.
All right. Well, Laura, you have a great rest of the evening, and it was thank you so much again for doing this.
Of course, and you have a great day.